Alright, Corio, this is XC, and this is going to be a continuation video from the last one. I was talking about Jigs Night, Monster Knox, I was talking about the music, the shortcomings of the game that I have with frame drop problems, people were having issues with the game, and so forth. This is going to be a continuation, straight up continuation. So last night, I finally found out what was the main issue with Twitter. People were complaining about a lot about this game, mainly about the composer of a particular someone from Falcom. And I want to go over with you guys. Let me get your thought about all this I'm about to talk about. This is going to be a long ass video, basically of drama and people bitching about on Twitter and so forth. So let's go on with it. So basically, last night I found out the source of everything, the source of why people were complaining about this composer. So you guys do not know, Mitsuo Singa is a composer that's been working for Falcom for a couple of years now. According to the stuff I've been reading here, since 2015 he's been working for Falcom. And basically people do not like this guy. I'll be completely under the radar about this. I did not knew that this man was so hated in the community, to be completely honest. So it says here, this is the title of the thread: independent hentai music contractor Mitsuo Singa and his recent influence on gaming lawyers running a review sound team, Falcom Sound Team. This is the team that releases the OCT of Falcom. And basically, this is basically a thread or biography, basically, of Singa. There's no doxing here. I'm gonna shut that down right now. This is no doxing. This is basically a biography of Mitsuo Singa and how he basically came to be and came to work in Falcom. You can find his old SoundCloud here of his old super work before he worked in Falcom. He used to work in the van, which also you can find here. There's a lot of good info here that you guys can tell. You can learn the history of this man just by reading this thread here. But most of the work was done by this individual here named Joseph. This guy did all the investigation last year in January, apparently, and he basically did this whole thread, basically how he had to basically find out who this man is, because the main problem about Mitsuo Singa, is that this guy, when you plug that name on Google, you're not gonna find any of his old work, like how he came to be. People wanted to find out who this guy is, like how this guy came to work in Falcom. Why is Falcom hiring this man? And the problem is that you cannot find any of his old work because he likes to use different aliases, which I'm about to go up in a minute. So basically, Joseph, this guy named Joseph on Twitter, break down everything that he did 7 tracks out of 19 and sent 3, and he broke down everything, basically how he started. He had everything is public information. Everything is public. There's no doxing here going on. This is all public information that you can find out online. There's no doxing here. Nobody's going at him. Nobody's going at him trying to find out. This is all public information. He used to go by the name of Cyclo Music, and he used to make for a hentai over, apparently. Basically, this man did all the work. This is Singa. This is the gentleman in question that everybody's hating on Twitter, or was hating, and they're still hating on me as I'm making this video right now. This shit is hilarious. People cannot stop complaining about this man. This is the guy in question that we're talking about right now. And the man just basically broke down the whole thing. Joseph came here and he was like, yo, this is what's going on, and this is how he came to work in Falcom. And Theo basically decided to break everything down here in a good, format so everybody can read it, and inform us of what's going on, who this guy is. I know Theo from behind the scenes a little bit. I talked to him a couple of times. He did not did this in bad faith. He just wanted to show people, who this guy is, basically. Who's this guy? How did he end up working for Falcom? So let me go and read a couple about this real quick to you guys, so you guys can understand where this man is coming from. So it says here, it turns out this Mitsuo Singa is actually the artist Mitsuo Singa. This is actually his real name, married to this woman here, Judy Suhiro, who also sung the Choso Koso 3 Any song, which is actually one of the good tracks. And then in 2015, he changed alias to Mitsuo Singa. In his Cyclo Music resume, this is his previous alias, we can see possible reason why. So basically, when he was under this name, Cyclo Music, he used to make music for hentai, basically, and not everybody start from the top. Everybody got to start from somewhere, and he used to do music for hentai. It is what it is. There's nothing wrong with that, and you guys can hear his own music and his own work here. I'm not gonna play any of that since this is really not interested. I don't want to make this video too long, and I'm really not interested about his own work anyway. So It says here also another complaint that the community has apparently is that he's been mismanaging the band of Falcom, the GDK band of Falcom. You know, they sing live, basically the music of Falcom. And to be completely honest here, I do not care about the band at all. Okay, I consume the music of Falcom, and usually I hear the OCT. I do not care about the band or anything of that sort, so I'm gonna completely ignore this part of the session of this thread. Okay, now let's move on here. It says here, anyway, there's a point to all of this. As of late, Falcom has been having more and more support songs creeping into the soundtrack. Some are even downright awful. For example, Dick Carnival for Chosen Cold Steel 4. And this is where I start to disagree with Dio here. This is one of my favorite tracks, actually, for Cold Steel 4. Apparently, a lot of people hate this track from the community. Like I said, music is very subjective, and in my personal opinion, this is one of my top 5 songs for Cold Steel 4, if I've been completely honest here. As you guys can see here, this is apparently was composed by Mitsuo Singa. I had no idea how they found out about this, that he composed this, because it doesn't show anywhere that he composed this. So let me go on Spotify real quick for you guys. You guys can see why this is I don't know how they find out that he's the composer, but let me look this up because you guys can understand why this is hard to find out. So Deep Carnival, right? I'm gonna put Carnival here. There we go, Deep Carnival. Okay, so this is the track in question, right? When you right click and try to see the credits of the track, you cannot see who is the person that composed this track, you know. But however, if you do listen to the track, to be fair, you listen to the track right now. I'll increase a little bit. If you listen to the track, it does sound like the melody that it does sound like Singa. You know, this is definitely was composed by Singa. It has his melody on it. I can hear his own melody from his SoundCloud and everything. So he has his melody on it. The people were saying here. How is it called Deep Carnival because Singa is a clown? How is this the top? How is this pinned to the top channel, man? Is this man really that hated? My God, man, I feel like this is adding fuel to the fire. This is adding fuel. Send this one to the one you hate. Oh my God, I guess people really hate this track. Really? Okay, so this is a good criticism right here. This is the comment that I really would like to see more criticism. You know, this guy's saying from 121 for 142 really is unnecessary or ruins otherwise okay track. This should be fucking pinned off here, man. I don't know why the fuck. Who pinned this? Who runs this website? Who runs this channel, man? I know this channel is not run by Falcom, of course. This is run by someone from the fans, but this is basically adding fuel to the fire, man. Do you guys think? What would you pin that? Like, I guess nowadays kids just like to say clown as a way to end the discussion. Hey, we haven't got the vape. I was just gonna say you're a clown at the end of the vape because I had nothing clever to say to you. I had nothing cohesive to say about the discussion. I was just gonna call him a clown. This is done in poor bad taste. Let's finish here what this thread is all about. So it says here, guess what? Both songs are arranged by Mitsuo Singa. Guys, he's talking about the miniseries. I'm about to talk about that in a second. In fact, almost every single song people have been like about in the new Falcom sound team, the other have been up in the work on Mitsuo's arrangement work. So yeah, a few of us Falcom fans have been mystified why Falcom so intent on keeping Mitsuo Singa on board running so many tracks. When he created, he had the creativity, expertise, and skill to have such a prominent arrangement position. As an independent contractor, Falcom absolutely insists on using these days. In fact, in GS9 he has more songs than ever, and that game just came out because he has extremely easy to recognize arrangement style, and with the 7 hours of the game being played, you can hear like 6 different single songs come on, which already made a few people disappointed, and people were here saying, you know, people saying they're worried, people saying that he was doxing and basically giving out samples of good tracks. It basically turns into a little bit of a clusterfuck, to be completely honest, because this is Reset Era, and Reset Era is a clusterfuck of the Western anyway. I don't know what you were thinking. Like I said, this is a good thread though. I think learn a lot about Singa and how he came to work to Falcom, but I don't think putting this on Reset Era was the right move. I think that was literally your first mistake there of putting this on Reset Era. But the main reason why this thing blew up, because on Twitter, I want to show you guys this real quick. So on Twitter, someone basically quoted this thread. It says here, I to find Dustin Japanese composers they find me as a confident to be fired, totally hilarious. Wait. And basically the person that run this account was showing basically a screenshot of the thread. I had no idea why this person blurred anything here, there's no doxing going on. Like I said, you can show it, man. There's no doxing here. Everything is public information. Everything that was on there is public information, so there's no doxing going on. And of course, everybody jump on the bandwagon and the circle jerking real quick. Like it says here. Okay, doxing is bad, but Singa does suck ass, and the game he works on are worse for it. But hey, can't blame for him for doing his job. Blame the company for being cheapskates. I'm gonna come back to that one at the end of the video, cheapskate. Okay, Falcom is cheapskate. Now I'm gonna talk about that. The reason he's in game is that he's way more affordable. I got to reply to this one. You know how much I hate Singa, but there's really no excuse for this stuff. It's one thing to talk about the scene for a laugh in per manner, but the post on a well-known phone is well, you know. Yeah, there was no doxing going on, so these people are just really being, you know, they just jump on the bandwagon. There's no doxing going on. Most of the people that were replying here, they're just being ignorant, you know. Someone didn't even know what they were talking about. This where I agree with this guy. That sign is to burn and salt the earth. I agree with that, man. Reset era. Nothing ever comes out good out of that website, man. Like every time I hear about Reset Era, it's up also in drama going on in there. Making fun of trans or whatever, racist Reset Era. Basically, you know, people were just basically dunking on the website, dunking on the OP, and it was, you know, I was laughing just reading all this thing, because if you actually read the thread, there's no doxing, you know. It's just if anything, it's a really good biography of the guy and how he came to be on Falcom. But I'm not gonna repeat myself 20,000 times. So I decided to hear the miniseries of the miniseries OCT of Just9, you know. Usually I don't consume my music through YouTube when it comes to any music or Falcom or whatever. I usually wait till Spotify comes out, or to the digital platform, but it hasn't come out. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna put the bullet, because on Twitter, I'm gonna show you guys a bunch of, for instance, real quick. So on Twitter, people were bitching about this man, you know. People were hating on Singa. People saying that he did the final boss thing, and they're saying that there's a lie. People were basically overreacting to the man. I should shout out to this guy, Doggy SpongeBob Doggy. So he's saying that he likes the mini, you know, the couple of mini soundtracks, and I went to hear it. You know, I went to hear it. I gotta be honest here, guys. The tracks are really good. I did enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to hear more of it. Of course, I didn't want to hear everything. As you guys can see here, I listen to pretty much all the minis. I haven't listened to this too, but I listened to a few of them to see what was composed by them. Like I said, I don't really consume much when it comes to you know, when it comes to online. I like to hear my music by myself when it comes out with a high quality on my Spotify account, and you know, and then make my own thoughts about whether the OCT sucks or not. I really do not like going on here and listen to it, because it's just, you know, I don't know, man. It's not me. Oh, wait, hold on. It's a personal Twitter. Who runs this? I'm really curious now who runs this. Wait, hold on. Isn't this the same guy that was doing the breakdown earlier? Hold on here. So it is the same guy, man. It's the same guy. Oh, so no wonder that he pinned that fucking comment on that video, because he runs it. This guy is a Singa hater as well. But hey, man, more power to you, man. But I feel like you adding a fuel to the fire, man. You adding fuel to the fire. That's completely unnecessary for you to pin that reduct that comment that Singa is a clown. Like, why you pin that, man? So now let me talk about Just9, since I already talked about what was the whole shit show, why everybody was blowing up this shit out of proportion for no reason. People saying that he got dogs, you know, a lot of misunderstanding. But now let's talk about Just9 now. So Just9, you know, like I said before, people were complaining not just the music, but also the frame drop problems. So I decided to go online. You know, I went to Amazon, you know, to look up the game on Amazon in Japanese to see what people were saying. Usually people leave some good stuff on there to see what the general complaint is. And the weird stuff is, I'm about to show you guys. Look at this. The weird stuff is that it's ranking only as a 1 star, but there's only 1 review of the game. You go down here, and there's only 1 person that is complaining about something that is not really related to anything that I was talking about. You know, the frame drop problems. And you know, I asked around, like, yo, what happened? Is this game dead? Are people not playing this game? What is going on? Why there's no discussion here on Amazon? And apparently, when this game came out, people just went and basically destroyed this game on the reviews. People were saying that this game was unplayable on the PS4, that the frame drops are unacceptable, that it's basically unplayable. Like they were saying basically that if you had the original PS4, not the Pro, but the original PS4, the game basically was basically unplayable. People could not play the game. The game would drop to like 10 to 20 frames, instead of stay consistent at 60. Basically, it was a clusterfuck of a release. That's all you gotta know about this game. It was a clusterfuck of a release. And also, apparently, according to Famoso, a few outlets here, they were saying that there was supposed to be a day one patch, so they could fix this frame rate problems, and the low loading time is also long loading. That's another complaint that I heard. There's a lot of loading time. They have long loading time as well. There was supposed to be a day one patch, but it didn't drop. So the game came out basically completely unoptimized, completely a mess. You know, I always being honest with you guys when it comes to any kind of trailers, any kind of promotion, when it comes to Falcom or whatever. Ever since I saw the very first trailer, this game was looking rough. You know, I said it since the beginning. Hey guys, the very first trailer, I was like, yo, I'm not feeling this game. I feel like the game is still in alpha version. This is like the alpha. This is like the super beginning of the game because it looks so empty, and that's basically ended up happening. The Falcom has been cutting corners, and not just that. I also find out about this game that there's no opening. For some reason, they cut out the opening of the game. They didn't decide to outsource it either, because I'm assuming people complain about the outsourcing. Did not have enough time to make an in-house opening, so they had to like literally cut corners there. Again, they have to cut. Falcom has been cutting corners for a long time now, but I guess since Falcom now is cutting corners on the music, that's when the Falcom fight really stand out. Be like, yo, the music's sucking real bad. You need to step up, Falcom. Music is very subjective. I do think that after Ghost Zero 3, the game music has a change. That I guess you can say that the structures of the music had changed a lot, but it's I do like the OCT more, to be completely honest, but it's not to the point that I can sit down and say, hey guys, the music of Falcom game has been a downgrade massive. You know, I can't say that because it's not really the truth. I like a lot of the new stuff that they've been releasing so far. So yeah guys, this game has been coming out. Also, another issue that I heard is that there's no remapping on the buttons. You got how in GSA Lacrimosa O'Donnell you can switch the attacking to X or triangle or square. In this game you can't do that. There's no remapping buttons on this game either. Like I said, this game they cut a lot of corners. People are just that's just been complaining that the music is not up to standards anymore. And I'm gonna say this as a fan of Falcom. I feel like Falcom has to not be up to standards for a couple of years now. You know, they've been cutting corner for a long time now. Outsourcing the opening for Coast Zero 3 and Coast Zero 4. There's a lot of things that I can complain about Falcom that I feel like they could have done much better. But people just want to sit down here and tell me that, oh, they're a small company, and basically it's just defend Falcom to death, because Falcom can do no wrong. But as you guys can see, Falcom, it's just they haven't been doing a great job. I'm gonna keep it real here. Falcom is basically the Call of Duty of JRPGs. You know, they've been releasing game every year. The quality of the game and the optimization is starting to show that they're not really. It's catching up to them. Basically, it's catching up to them. They really cannot be pushing out so many games like this and keep it quality control as before, like they used to do. Alright guys, I'm sorry for making this video too long. I hope you guys understand where the community is coming from this, where I coming from this, and let me get your thoughts on this on the comment section below. Let's keep it constructive. Let's not make this a fucking clusterfuck here. You know, everybody bashing, everybody saying, hey, he sucks, we gotta admit that he sucks. We don't. We gotta get constructive criticism, because this is why basically I started doing this YouTube thing, and started making sense. I always want to have a really good conversation with you guys. So if you guys want to come to my Discord, come on board. Usually on Discord, I'm here talking to you guys, and having a conversation with a few of you down there. Alright guys, the comments fantastic. I hope you guys learned something new, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Alright, catch ya.